Hello, my witchy friends. It's Figbury ASMR, and welcome to the Cozy Autumn ASMR tag. If I tagged you, or if you're an ASMRtist and you're interested in doing this Q&A, everything you need is in the description of this video. There are 25 questions and a quick fire this or that section. And I want to say thank you to ASMR Fleur, one of my lovely friends in the ASMR community, for inspiring me. So, the first question is, what is your fondest memory of autumn, whether from recently or childhood? I have two. So the first one is when I was a kid. I was trick-or-treating and a barn owl flew overhead landed right in front of us on a tree, and I remember telling my mom that I saw a witch's familiar, and she was quite charmed by that. Barn owls then became my favorite type of owl. My second memory of the autumn is making witch's brew in puddles with like sprigs of leaves and stones and rocks and pine cones, and then taking a big stick and stirring it up, because the puddle was kind of like my cauldron, right? And I used to do this with a bunch of like my neighbor friends, and we would all stand around and cackle like witches. So those are my favorite autumnal memories, though there are too many to count. Question 2. If you could bottle and wear an autumnal scent as a perfume, what would it be? So this question is tricky because I'm such a big fan of solstice scents, and they basically bottle autumnal scents, and they're very, very accurate. But I have yet to find a like decaying leaf scent that is super close to what they actually smell like. But I think it's pretty hard to capture the essence of that sort of earthy, lush scent in a bottle. I also would love to bottle and wear the smell of my mom's apple pie. It's very gourmand, but I feel like a lot of perfumes get a little bit too like sweet or sticky in their scents. And in the spirit of perfume, let me spray you with a little bit. We'll pretend that's pumpkin scented or something like that. Okay, the next question is, name 2 of your favorite books to read during the autumn season and tell us why you love them. So the first one you've heard me talk about before. It's Sylvia Townsend Warner's Folly Willows, a story about a witch living in the 1920s escapes from her conventional family and lives in the forest. She even finds a feline familiar, and I love it so very much. It's such a cozy book. It's also quite short if you're looking for a fast autumn read. And the second one is, of course, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. There's something about it that just feels autumnal. It's very spooky and gothic. And the first time that I read it was in October, so maybe that's why I've made that association. But if you've never read Wuthering Heights, you have to. It's a classic, and Heathcliff is just so very tortured. Okay, my fourth question. What is your favorite fall drink? And show us your favorite mug to drink it in. So, I, like many of you, love anything that has pumpkin spice flavor. I love a coffee with some pumpkin spice creamer, or like my Nespresso machine has a pumpkin spice pod. This is my little Winnie the Pooh mug, and it's really adorable. I love the feel of it in my hands, but I also like my Fleetwood Mac mug. I'm a huge fan of Fleetwood Mac, especially Stevie Nicks, of course. And it has that little penguin logo on it. So just a really nice feeling mug and the perfect size, really. I also like to drink just a lot of tea at this time of year. Okay, number 5. In 3 words, describe how you feel on a rainy day in the fall. Okay, the first word, reflective. The second word, sleepy. And the third word, happy, because I love a rainy day. Question 6. Have you ever visited a corn maze, a pumpkin patch, or gone apple picking? If not, would you like to? I have done all 3, actually, but I think my favorite is apple picking. Just because there's always the promise of some kind of apple baked good at the end. But it's a lot of work. Worth it for all of that labor. Okay, number 7. In your opinion, what is the best flavor of autumn? I just love all of the spices. So I've brought out this box of chai, of course, but cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger, like all of those warm spices are the essence of the season, and a lot of them are already in chai, which is why it's one of my favorite teas to drink at this time of year. But there are a lot of other flavors. I mean, pumpkin is also one of my favorites. That's pretty polarizing for a lot of people, which I totally get. Okay, what is your favorite autumn or Halloween themed song and why? I don't have the cassette tape, but anything from the Wild Heart album by Stevie Nicks, especially Nightbird. Rhiannon, of course, is an obvious choice. It's because it's about a Welsh witch. But I'm showing you the other side of the mirror because that's the only cassette that I had on hand. Fleetwood Mac in general is very on theme for the autumn. Okay, what is your favorite cozy, comforting TV show to watch? Mine has always been Sabrina the Teenage Witch, not the chilling adventures of Sabrina, the 90s and early 2000s version, obviously, with Melissa Joan Hart. I just love the themes of all of the episodes. They're so cozy and dependable, and it's just like a quiet, sweet, funny show that I've watched hundreds and hundreds of times already because I love it so much. And that leads into, what's your favorite spooky or Halloween themed movie to watch? I mean, Kiki's Delivery Service isn't really Halloween themed, but you know, I love witches, and it's one of my absolute favorite Studio Ghibli films. I also love practical magic, of course. I'm not really into like scary films, but I love practical magic. Okay, number 11, describe how you would spend the perfect autumn day. Now, there's a lot of different ways to answer this question, but I think I would spend it riding around on my broomstick, perhaps over a pumpkin patch or a beautiful field full of corn, seeing the sights, hearing the sounds, all of that. My broomstick is my favorite method of transportation, so, I gotta take it out for a spin, and you never know what you might find in the process. Makes lovely sounds as well, the bristles. Okay, number 12. For you, what signals the start of the autumnal season? I've brought out one of my favorite plushies for this question. It's just the desire to rest a little bit more, take it easy, have a cup of tea. When I start seeing the birds flying south as well, that's how I know that we're on the verge of autumn. That it's about to become my favorite time of the year. Okay, number 13. When is the last time you jumped into a pile of raked up leaves? It was actually last year. I was at a cemetery, and they put all of the leaves into the center of the pathways before clearing them, and I couldn't go around it, so I had to go through it, and I just took the opportunity to jump into the leaves, and it really connected me with my inner child. It was very, very special. Number 14. Have you ever tried carving a pumpkin before? If so, what did you carve into it? I've carved a pumpkin almost every year for many years. I always use stencils though, so I've done everything from the classic, like jack-o'-lantern, to like a ghost, a witch on a broomstick, a bat. Like, there's a lot of ways that you can get creative. And one year I painted a pumpkin as well. And it's a lot of work, but you get pumpkin seeds out of it at the end, which is a lovely snack. Number 15, show us your favorite item of clothing to wear in autumn and tell us why you love it. So this is my Harvest Witch sweater. This is by lovely friend Nora at Knock Thrice, and I love this sweater because it has pumpkins and scythes, and the colors are like all of the reasons why I love autumn so much. It's so beautiful and so cozy, And yeah, I just treasure it. It also makes lovely sounds. And if you want to see a detailed display of what's on it, there's a video on my channel. Then also I have this little sweatshirt, and it has this little bear inside a jack-o'-lantern, and there's a bunch of candy corn and a little moon and stars, and I just love it. I collect like autumnal or Halloween themed sweatshirts from the 80s and 90s, and this was an amazing find. I love wearing it with the collared shirt. Number 16, do you decorate for Halloween or autumn at all? If not, how would you like to decorate? I do in a very subtle way. I bring out lots of like pumpkin things and make sure that, my hand soap is fall themed. These are some vintage 1960s pumpkin, like garland streamer banner things. And I really love them. I think that kitschy Halloween decor is really fun. And it reminds me a lot of my childhood. It has such like bright colors, I do wish that I had a little bit more in terms of Halloween decor, but I'm working on it. I feel like that's one of those things that you acquire more and more of as you grow older and start to know your space and what you need. I also have a Halloween doormat that I bring out, but a lot of my spooky decorations I leave up all year round because, that's just who I am. Okay, number 17. What do you do to celebrate Halloween or so when? Kind of differs over the years. This ties into number 18 as well. What was your best Halloween costume? I was always a witch. Last year I dressed up as a witch as well. But usually I'll go to like a costume party and watch some spooky movies or hang out with my friends. It kind of just differs. But one of my best costumes was when I dressed up as Sabrina from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like the 90s version. And the other question, 19, what is your dream Halloween costume? I already did it. It was Indiana Jones many years ago. And it was so fun to wear that and walk around. Okay, number 20. Do you like to bake during the fall? What autumnal baking do you like to eat and why? I always bake so much in the fall season. I love making pumpkin bread. It's one of my favorite things to make. I also like pumpkin cookies, ginger molasses cookies, pumpkin muffins, and this year I'd really like to try making pumpkin donuts. So if any of you have a foolproof, really good recipe, even just for donuts, please send it my way. Or any Halloween or October spooky season themed baking. I would try any of your recipes. Okay, number 21. What is your favorite Halloween candy or chocolate? Mine is Swedish Fish. It has always been Swedish Fish. I've got a bag here of the minis. I absolutely love the tiny little packages that they would come in when you'd go trick-or-treating. But yeah, I have absolutely no self-restraint with these things. I will eat a whole bag in one sitting. They're so delicious. Okay, do you have any yearly traditions traditions or rituals in the fall that you look forward to. It's one of the only times of year where I journal. So I use this little like whimsicott, the celestial print journal, because I just love to preserve the feeling of the time of year. I also like to redo my altar with Halloween themed decor or just autumnal things like leaves and foraged objects. And I always like to do a couple of walks in the woods just to give my thanks to nature and take it all in and relax, right? Number 23, what is your favorite autumnal color? So I'm showing you this little pack of Woodland Warden's tarot cards. I just love like the red of this fox. It's so pretty. So I like an orangey, rusty sort of red color. I also like deep browns. And if you have not used this tarot card deck before, you really should. It's so beautiful. I'll show it to you in a video sometime. I also have a bunch of different Halloween colors on my sweater here. So you can see it has a bunch of like patchwork pumpkins. But I also just love the color of a regular pumpkin. And here's my little jelly cat pumpkin. He has a little smiley face. They've come out with a new one and he has legs now. So if you like him, you can go and get him. But all that being said, I really just love all of the autumnal colors. And I wish I wouldn't have forced myself to pick one. Number 24, if you were to have a familiar like a witch, what animal would it be? Well, you can answer this question quite easily by looking at this footage. This is Wilbury, and he's one of my two familiars. It's a cat, always, right? Always a cat for me. He's so sweet. I've done a whole video on them. You can find it from a couple of weeks ago if you want to meet them. The last question, number 25, is about what I'm grateful for, and it's all of you. Thanksgiving is celebrated in autumn in the United States and Canada, and everybody asks what they're grateful for, and I just am so grateful for all of you who've subscribed and who have joined the coven. Every day is a blessing, so thank you for being here. Okay, so we've moved our way through the 25 questions, and now we're going to do the this or that section. So we'll start with the first one here, pumpkin spice or apple cider. Definitely pumpkin spice. Walk through the woods or walk through a cemetery. Walk through a cemetery. Candles or fairy lights. Always candles. Just pure fire for me, please. Candy apples or candy corn. Candy apples. Sweaters or flannels. Definitely flannels. Picnic or bonfire. Bonfire. Scarves or cozy socks. Cozy socks. Listen to the rain or crunch the leaves. Crunch the leaves. Witch or ghost. What do you think my answer is going to be? Witch. Movie night or read a book. Always read a book for me. And the smell of leaves or freshly baked pumpkin pie. This is the hardest this or that question. It has to be the smell of leaves. Okay, so that is the this or that section, and that brings us to the end again, be sure to let me know if you do the tag. I'll share it on my channels. And thank you for being here. I hope that you have a wonderful rest and the coziest, loveliest, warmest, most perfect autumn and Halloween season.